Hi Flosstube, my name's Mel and this is my channel Patchy Pony Stitcher, a channel all about cross stitching, other crafts and more so now about ponies too. So grab your favourite beverage and some stitching and come and spend half an hour visiting with me. Now today is the 21st of March and I've only posted about 2 weeks ago, so I don't have a huge amount to show you, but I do want to say a big thank you to first of all, to all my past subscribers and returning visitors. Thank you so much for all your support, but also all of the people that have come and checked me out since my last video. It has been my most watched video in such a long time, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, and all the lovely comments about my projects. It was an impromptu whip parade. I sort of got lost in where I was and what I'd shown you, so the only way to rectify that was wipe the slate clean and start again. Now, I also had some great shout outs from other floss tubers, so I really appreciate that, especially Amy at Renewing Stitches. Thank you so much. And also Stacey at 911 Stitcher. I've just had an influx of people coming over, and I think you guys have certainly helped that. So I really appreciate you coming over. So if you have come from their recommendations, thank you for believing in them and coming in and having a look and hitting the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And I had so many wonderful comments about my project. So thank you. I don't know, it's really nice to see, even though the floss tubers aren't here for subscribers, it is really nice to see that subscriber count jump, because it does make you feel like you are doing something worthy and that people are interested, rather than you just sitting here talking to yourself into a camera about your stitching. Now, today's format is going to be slightly different. So I'm going to try, I was watching, I've grabbed my notes, I was watching Charlie Stitches with Charlie Feathers, and I really liked the way she started the way she did the format of her video. So I thought I would give that a try, because I found it really easy to watch and be able to zoom in or zoom out or take a screenshot of projects that I like, and keeping everything still so that you could really see the stitching. So I'm going to jump out of the photos, jump out of from in front of the camera and go to behind the camera and show you my stitching and see how we go. Now, I do have a treat for you. I've got some FFOs. So let's have a look at those first. So I've got 5 FFOs to show you, along with 1 partial FFO. Now, FFO is fully finished objects. And the reason I'm going to show you a partial is just to show you where I am with that particular piece. So the first one is Christmas laundry. I completed this at Christmas time just as a little stitch. I made it into a pillow, and I did all the sewing around the edge by machine, and then cut a hole in the back and filled this with the slit, and then sewed that up and then covered it with some adhesive felt, which I quite like this particular way. And I've still got yet to put a pin with the year on it. Now, this is on a 16 count tea-dyed Ada, just using flosses from my mystery box, which I don't know, where they came from or whatever. It's just picking colours as they are. So that's one little fully finished. The next one I'm going to show you is Singing in the Rain. I hope this fits into my screen. It does. So I showed you the finish of this last video. Now this is on a 32 count linen, and I changed it. So this is by Madame Chantilly, and I changed the colour of the umbrellas and gumboots from red to turquoise, only because that's more of a colouring that I prefer. Now, when I got this frame out of my frame stash, I'd picked this particular frame up from a thrift store or a charity shop, or Vinnie's as we call it here. Brand new, it was still in its packaging, which was great, but it was a little bit too big. So what I did is add some lace in, and that's under the matting, and I just literally did a little bit of a tack stitch onto the fabric to keep it straight, and that certainly solves a problem when a frame doesn't suit absolutely perfectly, but you still want to use that frame without having to pay for more when you've got a frame that suits. And I think this one's quite nice. It suits the actual piece quite well, and it makes the raindrops pop with the white matting board. Now this one, so I laced it and then just popped it back in with the backing board that came with the frame. So that's finish number 2. Finish number 3 is a piece, not necessarily a cross-stitching piece, but I found this particular piece of embroidery in a frame that I really liked at the op shop. And so I more bought the piece because of the frame, but I didn't dislike this bit of embroidery that somebody had done. It's probably not something I would display in my home, but I didn't want to just not do anything with it. So with the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial, I made myself a project bag. This is the backing fabric, and I used this fabric because I didn't think there'd be much else that I could use this for as far as finishing came, and it was in my stash, and it's quite cute and I like it, and I thought the colours went well with the front. So inside I've got just some yellow cotton. I didn't actually put any fleece lining in it. It is interfaced, but it's just otherwise quite a soft bag, which I think is quite cute. So I was really happy. I haven't done Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch's tutorial, which I found really easy. So if you want to try making a project bag, I'd give that one a go. It was really easy to follow, and I certainly enjoyed making it. I have made project bags before, but the vinyl front ones, and I do think I prefer this one, especially when you've got a nice piece that you're not too precious about. So if it gets marked or anything, it's not going to be the end of the world. So that's finish number 3. Finish number 4 is my strawberry. Now, I showed you this piece quite some time ago. I didn't complete, I think it's a sub rosa design, it's a freebie. And once I'd finished stitching this particular piece, it was in a diamond shape. Not diamond, a triangular shape. It did have additional pieces around it, but I decided just to leave it at that, knowing I wanted to make it into a strawberry. So I used the Helen D tutorial that she's got online to make a strawberry, and I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I am undecided if I should tack these down with a bit of glue or whether just let them sort of sit up naturally in the dough bowl with other strawberries that I want to make. I think I'm a little bit addicted now, and I've got a perfect use for all those orts, because Helen was saying to put wool roving down in the bottom, and I just put all my orts down in there, and it made it quite firm and quite pointed. So that's what I'll be keeping my orts now for, is for my strawberries. Now, my favourite, and I'm so pleased with how this turned out, is my quilting bee by the Blue Flower. So this particular frame, again, I found at a charity shop, Vinnie's, I can't remember which one. It did have a print in it. I didn't really care for that print, so I took it out. I'm just going to zoom out a bit so you can see. But doesn't it, the colouring, I just love how the colouring pops with this. Now again, as you can see, it's a square frame. The piece is not exactly square, so I've added a ribbon at the top in a coordinating colour and a thicker one at the bottom, just to fill up that blank space so it doesn't draw the eye to it. But I am super pleased with this one. Now, being that this was an older frame, it didn't have a backing board, so I laced it, and then I have glued some paper on. That's all I've done. Like, it's just scrapbooking paper. It's not entirely square, it doesn't matter, but it just certainly keeps it a lot neater if anyone does happen to look at the back of my cross stitching. So that is the Quilting Bee by the Blue Flower. Now, my partial full finish was a piece of stitchy mail that I received from Wendy in Neverland. Was a long piece, well, it is a long piece that I'm starting to turn into a drum. So I have done the sewing, but I'm yet to make the 2 circles tops. So it's quite easy to make a drum. You sew these bits, press the as seam down, sew it down the front, down the sides, and then turn it out, and you've got a circle. So it's the easiest part of the drum, but I haven't yet to find the base, find a circle that will fit perfectly in this one yet. So this is still on my cutting table for more work to be done, but you will see that one near in the future. Was that a bit of a treat, getting 5 FFOs all at once? I certainly had sat down and I did one whole evening of hitting things out because I had a growing pile, and as much as I'd prefer to be stitching, I also like to be able to have my stitching out on display and making use of the things that I do have. So I thought one night, nope, tonight we're going to get on with it and get some FFOing done, which I did. I still got a little bit more to go, but it certainly made the pile a little less bulky, let's say that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my works in progress. Usually I show you 5, but I've been putting a lot of work into 2 at the moment, and it's only been a fortnight since I was with you last. So let's have a look at my whips that I've got for today. So whip number 1 that I'm going to show you has had 300 stitches put in it since you saw it last, which was 2 weeks ago. This is a hands-on design called More Chocolate Bunnies. It was very popular when it was first released, and I finally got round to stitching it. It's on a 32 count even weave that I dyed myself. So this is where I was up to before when you last saw it. And with 300 stitches there, I have popped in some words, some letters in white. And I did a white floss. I'm sure it was a white floss challenge for that particular 300 stitches that I needed to complete. So I am a challenge stitcher, as I said before. So 300 stitches. So this is whip number 2, O Feathers by Rosewood Manor. This is where I was up to before. And this is where I'm up to now. So this is a 32 count even weave that I'm using for this piece with some of my own flosses that I have picked myself. 1 strand over 1. Now, this is going to be a long-term stitch because this is really hard on the eyes, and there is lots of counting involved, but I really like how it's coming along. And this stitch is also for a sale that I'm doing with Linda from Linda and Leroy on Instagram, and it's called the Pretty Peacock Sale. So if you'd like to join us, feel free to tag either Linda or myself. We'd love to have you along in our little sale stitching a peacock. She's stitching the peacock, unicorn and a badger one. So loving how this one is coming along, but it is going to be slow going. Future Mel coming back in to fix up past Mel's bugger up. When I went to show you this, the whip progress on this one, when I thought I was recording when I wasn't recording was way out of kilter. So rather than setting the camera up for overhead again, I'm just going to show you this one. So my 4th whip is Marie Finney. This is what the chart looks like. I'm stitching this with 3 other friends, and we've got a Finney Friendship Cell. This is where I was up to before, and this is where I'm up to now. So now in our group of 4, we've got all different fabrics, and some are using the called for threads and others are not. I'm going with a 28 count 1/1 using some threads and some not, but I've already started to change it up a bit. Under the first alphabet, you can see it's quite dark. In the actual sampler, it was quite fair, and it was too much. So I'll show you once again, just so you can understand what I'm saying. So the alphabet is quite light, so I darkened the alphabet up first, and then I found the thread under that too light, so I've darkened up that as well. So I am probably just going to change a lot in this, unintentionally, but intentionally. Now, I would love to hear your feedback. If you like this method of seeing finishes and also whips as a still without them moving around. So if you need to take a screenshot, or if you like something, you can zoom in and have a look, opposed to me holding it up and showing you. So I would really appreciate, I'm more than happy. If you don't like it, tell me, because I think we don't want to criticize people on Flosstube, but as a creator, you do want to know what people like. So please, if that's all you do today, is say thumbs up for the new format, or no, I'd prefer you to hold it up and talk about it. I would really love that. So please just let me know what you like, because I personally like, as a viewer, is seeing it flat, so I can really get a good eyeball on what the creator's showing. But comment please. Now I do have the winner for the giveaway for the embroidery charts. So Woolly Kim, if you would like to email me, my email address is below, and send me your postal address. I'll post those out to you. I would love to share these heart embroideries with you. So thank you so much for coming over and finding me. You did say in your comment that you were new, so welcome and congratulations, and I'll talk to you soon in emails, and we'll get these out to you. Now for the new people that have joined us, I am a prompt stitcher, which I might go into a little bit more detail of that. I'm in 2 groups on Facebook where we get given weekly prompts, and that sort of keeps my rotation, keeps me touching a lot of different whips. So I don't necessarily not stitch what I want, because I have a loose challenge guide of something. For example, stitch on black stitches like I did with the board game sale. And then it gives me quite a few different projects to choose from. So I still get to choose what I like, stitch on what I want, but it also makes me aware of other projects that might not have had a little bit of love that do have black stitches. So I might pick that one up just to get a little bit done on it. So keeping for me the challenge stitching, it certainly keeps me motivated. So 300 stitches and bang, I'm on to another project. I might do 2 or 3 challenges with the one project even. Like the Maria Finney one I showed you, I put 900 stitches into that this fortnight purely because of challenges that she fitted into. So that was great. Now I haven't had a lot of Future Fun purchases this fortnight. I've been quite busy, but I did manage to get down to my local thrift shop, op shop, charity shop to do a donation of things. So I popped in to see what they had, and I picked up my first punch needle kit. It is with the needle and thread, so a Brenda Gervais for $4, complete kit. Never done punch needle in my life. Actually, no, it doesn't have the thread in it, but it's got everything else in it, including some sort of punch needle contraption. I think I need to get a frame, but I just thought that was so cute that I thought for $4, I can't leave that behind. So that came home with me. So do I need another hobby? No, probably not. For those that are new here, not only do I do cross stitching, but I also do English paper piecing and other various bits and bobs that I can't say that I've got other crafts, but I also do a little bit of scrapbooking as well, paper crafting. So I probably really don't need another another hobby, but who can leave that behind for $4? So that's nearly really the end of everything that I've got to show you today. But now I got interrupted by a phone call, so I'm going to have to try and mesh these together depending on where we're up to. So as I was saying, I have a bit of an extra to add on. So some people talk about books, and some people talk about movies or life, but I've had quite an influx of people asking more about my horses. So I thought I'd do an introduction, because when I first did my introduction way back in the day, and just for a background, Patchy Pony Stitcher, where did that name come from? So when I first started this channel, I had a Patchy horse, which I'll pop a photo in here. And this particular guy, I loved him dearly, but we just didn't gel. There were things that we just weren't working. It was like button heads together. So I found him a gorgeous new home, and he is thriving, which is so good to see, because he's a beautiful boy. And so out went the Patchy one, and in came the 2 Pallies, the 2 Palominos. Do I change my name? No, I actually like Patchy Pony Stitcher. It's got a bit of a ring to it. And especially now that I'm doing a little bit of English paper piecing and patchwork. So I thought, no, I'll keep it. So I've had people ask me all about the horses, and when I show footage, people always comment. So I'm going to give you an intro to my 2 ponies. Now, we're not talking small ponies. We're actually talking horses, but I refer to these two as my ponies. So I hope you enjoy it. If you'd like to see more, hit the pony emoji. If you know me, when I watch a video, if you're a Flosstube yourself, when I pop in and watch someone's video, I may not have anything particularly to comment other than hi. So I leave 3 little pony emojis as my hi, thanks for, came to visit type of calling card, you could say. So if you'd like to see more pony footage, then please, by all means, leave a pony emoji for me, because I would like to see more pony emojis in my comments. So until I see you next time, bye and enjoy the ponies. Come with me and meet the ponies. Excuse the sunnies, it's a bit bright out here. So I'm going to introduce you to my 2 horses. The first one that has come to the gate is Jesse. He's my 2-year-old Australian registered quarter horse. He's only just beginning the breaking in process and learning to be saddled and learning to become a ridden pony. He's the baby and he's also very affectionate. If I come a bit closer, we'll probably get kisses. Yes, see, we get kisses. You can't eat them. No. Are you nibbling? I'm sure you really don't want to eat mine. Now it is nearly feed time, so they're thinking that I'm out here going to feed up, but they've still got about an hour to wait. So Biscuit's 14.2 hands for those that are in the know, and she does lots of different things. Well, we do lots of different things, from trail riding to ranch riding, endurance, and just generally having a good time. A lot of horsemanship, liberty. She's my big kilometres horse. We do lots of miles together. Don't we, Vicky? So I ride her about 3 times every week, doing some training, beach riding, liberty, all sorts of things. So we spend lots and lots of time together, and she's a good girl. Aren't you? Is it tucker time? Jessie J! So this is Jessie James, JJ's, J's, the J, all sorts of nicknames. Baby 2 years old, and just starting the breaking in process with him, which is hard work, let me tell you. I'm so sorry, I'm disorientated with this camera work. And that Kelpie you can see behind him is Andy. He's a 12-month-old Australian Kelpie, and a handful too, having 2 babies. So let's see if we can get a hello from the JJ. Howdy. How are ya? Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Whoops. No, you don't want my stick. I don't have any tucker for you just yet. You make me all dirty before I'm ready to film. Yes. So, these are my 2 gorgeous babies, my 2 ponies. Oh, God. For everyone to meet. So I thought you might like to see them rather than just a still photo. Excuse me. Two different personalities. Oh, I forgot to mention too, they're brother and sister. They've got the same dad, so they're half brother, half sister. Can you cut that out? So, lots of love there between them. Sibling love. Go. Dinner's ready. 2 hungry ponies. 2 hungry ponies. Let's go. You want to move out of the way? Okay, Biscuit, your turn. Where's your dinner spot? Come on. Up. where dinner is. You see how dry it is here. We are so dry. Ridiculous. Is it dinner time, Miss Moo? Is it dinner time?